Plastics are a focus in the sustainability movement because they're harmful for the planet all the way from manufacturing to end of life. Not only are they made of fossil fuels, most plastics are only able to be recycled a few times, and an estimated 90% of all plastics are never recycled. When littered or in a landfill, they can break down into microplastics, which find their way into our land, animals, oceans, and even our bodies.
I kind of experimented one morning by waking up and taking a log of every time that I encountered plastic in my day. And I couldn't believe it. And then I went grocery shopping. And from the minute I woke up to the minute I went to bed, there was plastic in my life.
Green Road Refill opened for business in 2018. Owner Jess parked her trusty Betty bus at farmers markets and sold environmentally friendly bath and cleaning products by the refill, meaning customers bring their own container and purchase as much of a product as they want.
I'm a positive person, and I believe that there is a positive and negative aspect to everything. So I don't want to say plastic is bad in all forms. I mean, there's been so many innovations, especially in the medical field, and benefits to plastic. But what really bugs me, gets me going, is single use. We have become this culture of convenience, and we value that convenience over sustainability, and we don't think forward to the life of the product in our hands when we're finished with it. So I thought, well, am I going to let this drive me crazy? And I was very upset with what's going on in the current administration. And I thought, well, you know what? It's really up to me as a consumer, as a conscious consumer, to make these changes. And then I was doing more and more research, and it was really hard for me to get the products that I wanted. And I didn't want to just order things on Amazon and have them delivered, and it just seemed to not align with the mission. I literally woke up from a dream at 4:30 in the morning about a store that people could shop in where they knew their money was going towards a great cause. And everybody in this store was so happy and they left feeling great. I woke up that night and I wrote the whole business plan down. And then the very next morning, I started making that dream into reality. So how can we make this thing mobile? I'm talking like many jugs of soap, and we came up with the idea of maybe creating some type of like truck or food truck. And from there, I was just like super supported. I found my Betty bus on Craigslist, of all places, and it just like fell into like total rhythm. And within 6 months of finding the bus, we were up and running in business. We had our grand opening at the Brewster and Bloom.
In 2020, Jess had to retire Betty Bus, and she started selling her products out of Sally Suds shed. Her mission remains to pave the way toward a more sustainable lifestyle for her customers.
It's been quite the ride. We are refilling thousands of bottles at this point, and people are getting it and really kind of serving the community and those wonderful people that want to live a more sustainable life and have the opportunity to refill and reduce their plastic footprint. We have a menu, and it ranges everything from home cleaners up to soaps, lotions, shampoos. The important thing about my products is that they are plant-based and earth-friendly. So things that are good for you, good for the planet. So dish soap, laundry detergent, stainless steel spray, lotion, soap, shampoos, conditioners. Anything you really can think of that you would go to the grocery store or go to your CVS and buy. You know, selling these things in ounces, by the weighted ounce gives people an opportunity to try things. I'm not asking them to buy, a $20 bottle of lotion. You can try just an ounce or two. None of my lotions are $20, by the way. So the whole idea is just an ounce at a time. See if you like it, try it out.
While Jess is giving local consumers an alternative option to products packaged in plastic, Sustainable Practices has been working to ban the purchase of plastic beverage bottles by municipalities across the Cape. Their next goal is to ban plastic water bottles in retail stores. I interviewed Madhavi before one of their meetings.
Sustainable Practices is a 501c3 located here on Cape Cod. It was founded in Brewster, which is where I live. I founded it because it was my ability on an individual basis to actually make the changes that I couldn't make on a regulatory basis, because I couldn't get elected into office. I tried 4 times. I never quite made it up to the highest number to win, but I really wanted to see some changes occur. And a lot of them fundamentally have to occur because of outreach and education. I think most people do want to do the right thing. It's just that it's too easy in our society not to have the transparency to see how you actually promote the very things that you say you don't want. Sustainable Practices is my opportunity to do the outreach the way I think it's most effective, through an educational basis that then goes to a regulatory basis. Because regulation fundamentally exists to codify social change. The social change precedes that regulation. What's important is that regulation, in terms of the reason for it, that's the thing that we have to teach our children. Because the regulation in of itself is limited by the written word, which means it can be reinterpreted through the lens of somebody else's reality. And the intention for what it was written for may be forgotten over time. So Sustainable Practices is also about context. And right now, what we focused on is a municipal plastic bottle ban in 2019 and 2020. It's the commercial single-use plastic water bottle ban, which will try to ban the sale of non-carbonated, non-flavored drinking water in single-use plastic containers of less than 1 gallon size in every single town on Cape Cod. The municipal plastic bottle ban, which we passed in 2019, basically regulated towns. So towns could no longer purchase single-use plastic bottles, beverages of any kind, and towns would no longer allow the sale of beverages in single-use plastic containers on town property, so eliminating vendors' ability to sell beverages in plastic. The commercial ban affects retail. So if the commercial ban will eliminate the ability for retail outlets, every store in a town, to sell single-use plastic water bottles where the water is non-flavored and non-carbonated and the size is less than 1 gallon. So there are 2 separate elements. We started off with the municipal ban because the town should not be using tax dollars to purchase something that we know is adverse to human and environmental health, and also has a greenhouse gas footprint in a time when everybody's very conscious of that. And then the second one was to eliminate commercial, because this is not a good that's necessarily positive for human consumption as a choice.
Despite postponed town meetings due to COVID-19, Sustainable Practices has succeeded in passing the municipal ban in 13 towns on the Cape. The commercial ban passed at town meeting in Brewster, Eastham, Falmouth, Harwich, Orleans, Provincetown, and Wellfleet. This year, they plan on filing the municipal ban in Bourne and Truro, and the commercial ban in 8 more towns.
One thing that we have going for us is that outside the United States, the news with regard to bans has been increasing quite a bit. We have countries, the EU, we have individual countries such as India, Bangladesh, that have imposed bans. We don't have that kind of momentum in the United States. So it's up to grassroots organizations to start putting that momentum in place, putting in that pressure to actually make those changes, and local governments are actually the conduit for that change. So what we're hoping for, more than anything, is that we become a symbol, a leader in an effort to show other countries, as well as our own country, that we do have an interest in reducing our consumption footprint on a planetary basis, and also to be an example to other communities within the United States that it doesn't take much to start this process, that a few people can make a significant difference, that sometimes you just need someone to stand up and say that they want a change, because then other people who also want that same change have somewhere to sort of coalesce. And by coalescing, you have that change potentially happening. I don't think that this is something unique in terms of just there's a few people that want to do this. I think it embodies the interests of many, many people, and the fact that we're a coastal community makes a lot of sense too.
I think what it is we're so trapped in our routines and we're very loyal to the brands that we buy. So it's about taking a step in a direction of a little bit greener lifestyle. Like if you have a box of plastic bags at home, use them up, wash them out, use them again. It's when they deteriorate, don't go out and buy another box. Try making your own beeswax wraps. That's really inexpensive. Or you can buy the ones that I sell. Looking around what you buy and what's in your home right now and that has that most single-use plastic, and commit to one thing at a time. I'm not asking people to completely clean out their house of every plastic piece that they own. It's like, what do you use on a daily basis that is really, accumulating that plastic footprint?